Hello and welcome back to Oak City. This is our Plains and Prairies playthrough. We are on episode 28 here. We're going to be running through the month of November and into December. We have planned for the month we're going to be doing cotton, animals, and new equipment. So we will be getting into starting to work. The new area that we picked up is going to be about 115, 118 acres of field. I think we're around the 125 acre plot of land there. But once we get that trimmed down to field, we should get around 115 acres, probably something like that. So we will be picking up new equipment for that. We do have to turn around and get through the grass. We will be switching to seasons at the end of this month. So we do have a lot going on this month. So with it, we're just going to jump right out there and get going. One of the things we know is going to take a hot minute. We do have the field up here. That's the last, crop we have to harvest. We do have the grass that we're going to take down this month too. But the cotton is the last of it. So we have about 40 acres there, and we'll say about 20 acres there. So probably 60 acres of cotton that we are looking to get off of the field this month. So we're going to turn around and just jump right in there. It's going to give us a chance to run this one a little bit in the dark. Take a look at what we're working with here. Great piece of equipment. Get this unfolded out. 10.5 meter working head here. Pretty much drop that down. Get that turned on. We are just going to get it out into the hedgerow here. Turn around and give this field, being it's our first time working this field, we are going to turn around and ride with it for a minute here. What do we get? So they want us to do 2 hedgerows. Alright, we'll run 2 hedgerows and then we'll send it. Turn on the auto drop. We do want that to be on, and then we can get rid of that. Again, this harvester is certainly making cotton much easier to do. I do appreciate the size of the head on this one. Definitely you can do the the Colossus pack has a cotton harvester in it where you can do the Unreal head size and make it as big as you want to, and it'll go a lot faster. Have to say I probably like this one a little bit more, just leaning towards where I'm like realistic. It seems a little more authentic. This is probably a genuine piece of equipment, you know what I mean, just for big cotton harvest. So digging it, gonna keep it in there. Got a little bush growing in the field. Almost get rid of it, but I actually like it. So keeping that there. Are we going straight? Yeah, we're going straight. We could almost widen the working head on this one. It looks like it does kind of give up one extra row. It's gonna be a slow go, but I think that's kind of realistic. Cotton's probably not a rip it down super fast kind of thing. And then, having multiples of them, I guess I do dig the actual working head. So something there, may just kind of keep 2 realistic working heads for sure. I think I'm in favor of that, maybe. Does a great job as far as cutting the swath. Even though it is slower, than you could do, it's definitely faster than just the straight base game. So that's a winner. I mean, not speed wise, but with the double size of head, that's kind of all you need. And then this one's going to drop the standard 10,000 liter bale size, so you can use it with auto loaders, or not auto loader, but the loading bale equipment. The cotton bale equipment actually works with it. Some of them you get the bale size up too high, and then the trailers don't want to pick them up or anything like that, and you got to pick them up by hand, so that becomes a thing. We're gonna just ride right around the curve here. We are. Well, that is super nice. So the field's working out decent. 60 acres of cotton is going to be biggest cotton field I think I've been in. So there's that. I would anticipate we get a lot of cotton off of this, actually. Let's take a look at the yield quick before I turn around. Yeah, 97% yield. So, and 100. Sure, because there was that circle field here, so where that got plowed under is going to be 100% yield. So this really should do fairly well, you would think. Or, I mean, we're going to get a good idea of what 60 acres of cotton with a pretty maxed out bonus is going to give us. You know, you're going to have number to play with, obviously, with the 3%, but this is going to give you a pretty good idea of what you're going to get out of 60 acres of cotton, which should be interesting. And who knows, if it's high enough, we may actually have to put in some more production or something to deal with cotton. We know that our bioplastics is only going to hold 100,000 liters of cotton, and it doesn't appear to blast through that or anything, so that's probably like a year's supply or going towards a year's supply. And we don't need a ton more than that, which we could always sell, or we could run through another production. Clothes definitely are big money and not a lot of delivery, so kind of fit the mode of what we're looking for as far as, you know, making money without having to do tons and tons of deliveries or auto delivering anything. So clothes may be a thing if we can get enough yield off of this. It's just going to be about where we yield, because we definitely want to have enough that the bioplastics is running all year, all the time, and then if we have run over, we would look to do something else with that. So I think we're going to turn around and let this one get running, probably jump down and send out the grass harvesters. Might as well get that going. And then I think we'll kind of wait a little more for some sun before we turn around and start messing too much with animals, just so that we can see what we're doing. So yeah, I'll jump down and get the grass going, and then we'll get kind of an update as we go. Here we are, just getting ready to drop our second bale. Did turn around and throw the big field mower out in the grass field down there by the farm, so that is starting to get working. Nothing too super exciting there, just working the grass. This being the first time in the cotton, going to kind of focus on this field. Still just kind of getting by some time as the sun's coming up for construction. We don't have a lot of harvest to do this month, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Not in a big overly overdone rush, I guess. Just kind of need to get this picked, and then we have the next couple of months to turn around and get our fields actually prepped for next spring's planting, because that is going to be the decision of this month. Once this cotton's off the field and the grass is off the field, we'll be switching to seasons. So at that point, we're obviously going to have to plant and harvest as the seasonal calendar allows, which will make for an interesting change and flip. So we'll just have to see how it affects the farm, how it affects the other fields out on the map, stuff like that. That's kind of why I want to flip over and just see what happens to everything. So we're just going to be running this one and still running through the grass. This is going to finish up the hedgerows. So 2 bales of cotton, or 20,000 liters down, plus the looks like, I don't know what, 2,500 we just sent over. So pretty good amounts just off of the hedgerow alone. No complaints here. And we'll just kind of get this back in the field, keep it working, and keep updating. So just checking in on our progress here. We do have 7 bales down. We are kind of at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. 7 bales down. We are about harvested through all of our grass. We have the field up by the farm itself is done. The cattle field we'll take a look at here just as soon as I get that sent back down the way there. Gonna turn around and produce a lot of cotton actually off of this field. I mean, 7 bales already, that's 70,000 liters, and we're probably approaching around the 50% of the field actually harvested. We'll have a couple of spots to pick up, but yeah, I don't think we're even quite at the 50% rate. 50% complete yet is where I'm getting. So we're probably going to pull 150,000 liters or more of cotton off of that field. Going to be interesting to see where the totals come out. And then you can see the grass or the mower over there cutting all the grass. This grass already done. Probably will send out the fertilizer at some point to fertilize those fields before the end of the month, but no real highlight there. So kind of just the big suspense really, I guess, at this point is how much cotton do we actually get off of this field, because the yield seems like it's going to be quite a bit more at least than I was expecting. 100,000 liters would have been great and served a need for the year. I think we're going to probably end up with quite a bit more than that, and either have to figure out something to do with it, or we're going to have some excess cotton to sell at a high point. But just cruising along, and you know, obviously this field's going to take a bit, so just keep working on the up and downs, you know. Here we are, just riding along on the up and downs of the cotton field here. We still have a lot to go. We have a lot on the field already, as you can see. Just kind of cruising along. This machine definitely has great vision. It's actually pretty cool riding along in this one. I have to say, this is probably my preferred way of riding this machine. A lot of bales, so we definitely are going to turn around and do something else with production. As far as cotton, we're just going to have too many bales to turn around and just spend on. Plus, we do have a nice bale storage at the farm, so if we need to, we can definitely utilize that, make some more money out of the production. It's going to turn around and continue to run this cotton field till about 9 o'clock at 9 in the month. Whether we're done with it or not, we're going to turn around and move on, so that to starting up some of the animal stuff, just so where we can get that started in the month, and it's going to have some time to run going into next month. We don't want to get that stuff started too late in the month. We can always come back to harvesting the cotton, or we could turn around and put an AI worker on it if we wanted to. We do also have the rest of the grass is all now cut, so we will have to get that off of the fields, as you can't have AI do that on the roads obviously there, so we will have to get in and do that. The cotton obviously taking a fair bit of time, but as this machine is not cheap, everything else with the cotton has not been cheap so far. We already have, you know, 600,000 plus the field invested into the cotton, so we're looking to get some payout out of the cotton before we turn around and try to add like another machine. It definitely would be cool to pick up a number 2, but we won't be doing that until at least next year, probably even unless we have a bigger field. You know, if we have a bigger cotton field, I definitely go at it with 2 machines. This one could handle it if we put AI in it, but you can see we have used the better part of a half a tank of fuel already, and we are climbing up on probably close to an hour and a half of operation just in this one field already. Gonna anticipate this field's gonna take a couple of hours just to harvest with one machine, and that's even with the big head. Though I have noticed the head size on this one says it's 10.5 meters, but the working rows are set up at 11.3, and it seems to not be missing anything. So, you know, there's that. it might be a little bit wider than 10.5. As I say, it's working at 11.3 on the GPS swaths, and it's covering the whole thing. So there you go. But still just working these up and downs, and then when we grab over to the animals here, we'll kind of catch in at the animal break. Alright, so here we are back. It is 9 o'clock. We have just turned around and turned this one over to a AI worker. So we will just turn around and let this one kind of finish as we're doing other things. It's going to take long enough that we don't need it to stop. Honestly, it's already been taking quite a while, so we're just going to let it keep going about its business while we get other things done. So with that, let's turn around and jump over to the cattle farm. As you can see at this point, we have 150 head of cattle in there out of 291. We really don't have too many that are producing milk. We're going to have another 50 that are coming on to produce milk, but we are going to just turn around now that we have enough money. I think we're going to go in and buy some cattle. So we'll go in and buy, I think, probably 40 head of cattle. Should put us somewhere around 50,000 by the time we have them delivered. Yeah, 51,000. So we'll go ahead and swing that. We are going to buy the brown Swiss ones just because at this point all we had in there are the Holsteins. So going to turn around and mix that up a little bit. See if we can find any of them anywhere, or if we just have, well, they should be out here somewhere, you would think. Yeah, well, they're in here. We have 190 head of cattle now, which, okay, I don't see them though. So that's weird. Maybe they'll show up at some point. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. Not seeing any of the new ones. Is that one of the new ones? Yeah, there's one of the new ones. Alright, so they are out here. There we go. 18 months. So that should turn around and double our milk production. Plus we had the new one, the second set that, or the first set that was born, or second set of cattle effectively, but they're going to turn around and start producing milk too. So definitely going to up our milk production now over the next couple of months. Should let us start running the dairy hopefully every month instead of every other month. That's kind of the goal there. And then we are going to turn around and jump down here. We have had these two fields here sitting idle. We did use them right off of the bat, then past that they've just been sitting. So we are going to turn around and go ahead and actually utilize these fields now at this point. So just kind of drop out of here. We will jump into the build mode, see if we can get a look at what we're dealing with here. Get that somewhere where we like it. Alright. And then we are going to put animals in here. So let's swing down to our animals. I think we are going to go with pigs and sheep. Or not pigs and sheep, excuse me. Goats and sheep in these pens. So kind of get a look at what we're dealing with as far as where to put it. I think we have an entrance there. We have an entrance up there. Alright, let's fiddle around a little bit here and see what we can do. How big is this? Ground is not exactly level in there, so let's go ahead and level some of that off. Try to limit how much craziness we get in our building when we put it down. So gonna cost a little bit to work the ground here, but I think it'll be worth it at the end of the day. Okay, And then we'll come in, shrink that down, just smooth this out a little bit on the edges so we don't have anything radical going on. Same thing here, we don't need anything insane going on, so we'll just kind of level all that out a little bit. A little bit of a dip in personality isn't going to hurt us, but we don't need anything sticking out crazy. So then we will jump back up here, go to our shed. Hopefully we left enough room. We're going to go with the biggest one that we can get. Yeah, that should work out just fine. I would think it'll take care of anything else. Okay, line that up. Let's try to get straight to the fence, or about as straight as we can get guessing wise. And then we'll plan it something. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Do you want to customize? Yes, we want to customize. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. So we'll turn around and leave enough room because we want to be able to go up the side for sure. Boy, that is difficult to see right there. Alright, let's turn the camera. Drag this out. Doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want to do some stuff around the outside of it for sure. So this we should be able to take. Do we want to go down the field and leave the edge, or do we want to come out? Oof. Decisions. There's so many decisions to be made. I think we'll just go with something like this. That'll give us plenty of room to get around. And then down here, we're going to have to deal, I suppose, with that. And then we'll probably have horrible view on the fence. Let me see what makes sense. Probably something like that. And then hopefully we're somewhere in here lined up where we need to be. I can deal with that. Alright, that is done. That's all we need. Alright, and then we'll see how that comes out. We did get the meadow in there, so that came out. Guess we can actually jump out of that mode there, turn around and take a look at how everything came out. A little bit of groundwork we'll probably do some fixing with there, smoothing out, but other than that, should have come out okay. Fence here gives us plenty of room for grabbing our stuff in and out of here, so that's going to take care of that for the most part. We'll have to dress it up here a little bit, and then we can get a few animals in here. We have turned around and got in some trees now, some grass, decor, stuff like that, so we are ready to drop our animals in here. Gonna turn around and just have them auto delivered. Not gonna turn around and worry about animal delivery at all. Gonna turn around. We can get 179 in here, so that's not too bad. Turn around and probably just start that up with 50 animals or something. Yeah, we'll just start with goats this month. 179, that's Probably a little more than we want to go with. Let's just see what we get to total. Try to keep our purchases to under 50,000, I guess. Why not? That puts us right around there. Gives us 50. They can go forth and multiply. So we'll turn around and buy those. Awesome. That's going to get our goats started. All right, let's see. There we go. They turn around and plant some trees and whatnot out in the pasture here. Oh, check him out. He's chilling in the shade. Smart goat. There you go. It's alright. At least the goats are now in. We did turn around and pick up the more cows. I think we will turn around and still go ahead and throw in our sheep lot. Probably just over here. So we have got in the second shed here. Going to turn around, or sheep shed is what this one is going to be. So turn around and take a look. We do have some rolling hills in there. Going to be some up and downs for the sheep. Other than that, pretty smooth. Everything kind of laid in here decently. Just about ready to put some animals in. You can see we have plenty of space to get in and out. Some of the old storage and water left behind. We just leave that there for good old-fashioned decoration is what we do with that. You can get a good look there. So we'll turn around and see what we get. 220 we can fit in here. So yeah, I guess totally not sure how to turn around and buy these up. I guess we'll just buy 15 of each of the adults, I guess is what we'll do. So we'll buy those up quick. That'll give them room to grow, multiply, and we won't have a huge investment into them. It's kind of the idea. The less you invest in them, the more you get out of them at the end of the day. Wait, what do we say? We're just doing 15 each. Yeah, good enough. All right, that's going to give us 60. Get at least three rotations or 3 bursts out of each, and then we can kind of move them out. There we go. A little bit of everything in here. Plenty of space. We did just turn around and punch this one out about the size of the field. But that is not going to be too bad of an animal pen. I don't think so. Good start there. And then the goats are up and running. Going to have to turn around and go and grab some hay for these. So we'll bring those in. We did get the notification that the cotton harvester is done, so we're going to turn around and go and pick up that cotton as well. So I'll grab the hay, swing it in here, and then we'll go up after the cotton. Swinging in for our food delivery. Did just turn around and grab about 20,000 liters of hay there. We're going to turn around and try to split that in between the two. Both of them have obviously the meadow planted, so they shouldn't have too much problem actually just getting up and going, but we are going to bring food into them both. Make sure everything is working as we would want it to. Oh, no, yeah, I was going to say. Alright, whatever. That one will be full. The other one will have a little less in it. Big trailer, hard to unload just that little bit. There you go. And we can actually just go cruising all the way around. It's kind of the idea with why we put this in here. Makes it nice and easy to get around. Don't have to worry about traffic. They'll currently have traffic turned off, so don't have to worry about that anyway. Let's kind of annoying moving the big cedar around with the traffic. Oh, swinging that down. Not close enough. There we go. Just have to get it up there close enough. Awesome, that should take care of those. Oh, big sheep. Alright, everything looking good. Everything working as it's supposed to. Cool, so we can get that out of there. We'll actually leave this hooked up because we do have all the grass to pick up, but then we're going to grab the cotton trailer with the other case and head out with that. Alright, here we are. Pull it up on the cotton field here. I know we're going to have a lot of bales, honestly, on here. I do not remember how many bales are on here. I think it's going to take 2 or 3 loads to actually get this in. Just going to pick it up before sideways. Yes. Cool, no problem. Alright. So we're just going to zoom around and pick these up, honestly, about as fast as we can do it. Whoa. Yep, it's going to be a job like that. Put your safety belt on for certain. There we go. Let's see what this is like. These big wheels, probably not ideal for picking these up. All I have a mirror full of is cotton bale. Alright, it doesn't really matter which one we pick up first. There is a harvester. Should be good to go. Needs a big counter on it. Alright, there is 5 up and 5 on, so 50,000 liters. These are just the 10, but there we go. Get that turned up for safety. Turn around and run this down to the we're gonna run this one straight to the bioplastics, and then on the next load we're gonna have to have made some decisions by then, so we will check back in right around there. Making our way back to the farm with the second load of cotton bales. This is going to turn around. We ended up with, we have just under 70,000 liters of cotton in the bioplastics after delivering that load. We're still going to have at least 1, probably 2, maybe even 3 more loads yet of cotton. So we're going to pull a lot more cotton off of that field, quite honestly, than I thought. This the second load, so 100,000 liters with this and the last one so far. I think we'll probably end up with 200,000 liters of cotton off of that field, which will be way more than was anticipated. Nice size cotton field for sure, taking care of what we wanted to take care of. So this one we are going to turn around and just put into storage. That way we will have some just in case we need it in anywhere. So dropping those. Awesome. We'll turn around and let that close itself back up. Take a look. Custom storage there for the map. Bale storage holds like 650 bales or something. It's a ton. Turn around and it was already opening. There we go. Open that up, and there is your utility. Holds them up there too. Really nice feature. and certainly will come in handy when you need to store things, you know, bales, pallets, anything like that. So I'm gonna turn around and head off, grab the next load, and then we're gonna definitely do something with some production. Alright, at this point we are about to just hit the field here at high speed. Not gonna turn around and dilly-daddle too much, grab these up, and then we will go throw us in some kind of plan to actually do something with them. As you can see, we do still have 2 trailers full, so 4, probably gonna get 4 off here all together. Should be 200,000 liters. Crazy, actually. I was hoping for half that, definitely pleased with double that. So that is certainly a pleasant surprise, but it gives us another problem. I mean, we could turn around and try to sell it if we just store it till its high point. You know, every 100,000 is going to be close to $500,000. But we also know that running this stuff closed is crazy good money. Ooh, there we go. Nothing like it a little while while we get her done. So we'll head down to the industrial park and go see what we can figure out. Alright, so here we are going to turn around and zip in. Actually, can find our first problem right off the bat. Gonna have to extend this just a little bit. We'll go along here the whole way, and then this I think we'll take and go a bit wider along here and get rid of that edge right there. Probably match that up a little more on this side as well. Perfect. So there we go. Yeah, I think that'll be a little smoother. We did turn around and get in a spinnery, so we will be dropping our cotton here at the spinnery if we can not run it over. So we're going to turn around and offload there. Also turn around and put in a tailor shop, so once we turn around and actually start producing some cloth, if we can start producing some cloth, that is, we will be able to move that over to the tailor. Alright, sweet. All went in well. Turn around and get that. We'll go into the production here quick and see if we can find it. Tailor spinnery right down there. Fabric cotton is going to be a thing. This is going to hold 200,000. So we'll turn around and get that going. Head on up and grab some more bales off of that field. Here comes shipment number 2. That's going to bring 100,000 in here, 50,000 in the bio, and 50,000 into the storage. So 200,000 so far, and I do believe we still have at least one more full trailer up there. So $250,000 plus, it looks like, is going to come off of the 60 acres of cotton. So that's definitely a winner. Year supply for probably the spinnery anyway. If it all went in there, it might even be a year supply for both of our industries that are requiring cotton at this point, quite frankly. But we'll turn around and head up for the rest of it. And here we are with the final offload of cotton. So it's going to bring us to a total of around 235,000 liters ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. Not too bad for our first haul. Get those delivered there. Bam, there we go. Get this folded up and ready to get out of here. Turn that off real quick, see if we can grab a total of what we actually got in there. Yeah, 134,000 in here, plus we have the 50,000 back at the farm, just in case we need to put that into the bioplastics. Otherwise, we can turn around and move that over here if we need to. So we definitely have a good stock of cotton, which actually, did we? Yeah, we activated that, right? Yeah, for sure. Activated. And that's going to turn around and let us start producing clothes. So we'll turn around and get this one out of here. Well, actually, should almost turn around and build. We need like a transport center for some stuff. We have a lot of stuff yet to do always. I think we are going to turn around. Still have to pick up all of the grass off of the field, which that I don't anticipate too much eventful in there. I know we still have our product sell off. We're going to have a little less to sell off there this month as our wheat has now run out, so we won't be producing whole wheat bread anymore. We will just be down to our corn tortillas for now until we get our next harvest there. I think the next order of business is we do have some equipment that we're going to pick up, so I'll get this stored and then go grab that. So here we are with the new equipment. Turned around and did grab another Magnum, as we needed one with the 3-point attach on the front. So we did turn around and grab one of those, and then we grabbed, like, it's called like the Devourer or something, Tree Devourer. This thing is like a mega mulcher, basically. Going to turn around and take care of our stumps, trees, turn it all into wood chips. Not super efficiently or anything I wouldn't expect, but it is going to turn around and mulch our trees and chip them up for us. So that is how we're going to kind of use to clear our new land. Going to save us from having to deal with the stumps and the trees separately. So as you can see, hooked up there, it takes about 150 horsepower to run it. Not crazy. This tractor way over for that, so we'll turn around and go grab a trailer, and then we will head out to that new field where we need to clear. Here we are heading into the new field that we are going to need to clear. So obviously we have trees on this one yet still in the way. That's what we are kind of here to deal with. So we will turn around and pipe this out. Open up our trailer there, turn around and turn that on. It's going to be very loud, apparently. And we will see that we can start chunking these down. Did that not offload? I don't think we got any wood chips out of that. I wonder if that's because we don't have a capacity. Let's turn around and take a look here. Might have to make some adjustments to the equipment there. Yeah, my guess is we need to have a capacity on the Devourer there. So let me go swap that up and I'll be right back with it. Alright, so as you can see there, as soon as you turn around and hooked up, or put a capacity on the Devourer there, we turned around and it shot out the wood chips that were stored in there as soon as it went in there. So that is a necessity. I figured with the pipe you weren't going to need a capacity, it was just going to eject it, but you do need a capacity in order for it to actually kick the wood chips back. So if using it, that is the thing to be aware. Alright, let's turn that bad boy back on. Wow, that thing is loud. Alright, should make clearing the lot really fast and easy, though, is the idea there. I'll line the pipe up right with the tree and just charge it, I suppose. There we go. should take care of it. We can always plow forward. Wow, that thing is super loud. But gonna turn around and get the job done, so we'll turn around and find some more of these trees. Obviously not gonna mulch bushes there. The advantage here to actually clipping these trees in this fashion is that we are going to be able to take these trees to the bioplastics and get that up and running with more glucose is what we get out of the wood chips. So that's going to aid the same thing that the cotton that we just started feeding into there is. So we should be able to get a good amount of that out yet before the offload. Alright, there we go. Easy enough to tell when we've run through everything. So basically you're just going to turn around and keep mulching up all the trees on this property. Still have the our monthly money, if you will, to turn around and make, but I don't anticipate anything super special there. Like I say, not going to be a bumper month in any of that stuff, as we just don't have the amount of product that we normally actually have to sell. So it's going to be a little less. Hopefully it'll put us back up to around the 2 million mark, and then I think for the most part we'll turn around and, since we actually have some of these, let's get that shut off. Did actually get some trees in here. What do we have? 22,000 liters of wood chips. So we don't want to go crazy overboard. I don't even know if these trees are on this lot. That one is. It's not in the field though, so we're not going to mess with it. May have actually already cleared the whole thing. That may be just how good this thing is at its job, actually, that we don't have anything else to deal with on this field. Obviously not a lot of trees and bushes in the way. Turn around and take a look at the map here. Yeah, we're not really going to have anything there that we need to get rid of. So if we don't have anything else in this direction, we should be pretty good. That'll let us go offload this, and then the only thing left we'll have is grass and product sales. That's probably going to be a little further out into the field than we would like, so we'll go ahead and eat that one up. Oh, unfold the pipe first. Cool, cool. Gotcha. There we go. Spending no time wasting. Winner. Alright. We're going to keep that off. That thing is dreadfully loud, as it should be for a tree-eating monster that it is. Let's go ahead and pick that up. Yeah, I think we're good with the rest of that, so that should set that out. So then we'll go take this in and deliver it to the bioplastics, which is just down around the corner here. And we'll just cruise out there. Nice thing with the faster tractors is we definitely do cover some ground much faster. You can see there is our corn that we have to deliver, corn tortillas that is, and then we will have, you know, peas and green beans yet. And if we get into a money crunch, we have a bunch of silage that we can get rid of. So probably going to offload some silage at the same time we turn around and pick up the grass. That seems to work well. It saves us. Oops. Can't shut that off while you're offload. I do that frequently. Alright, let's jump into our control panel here. And then we are going to find wheat. We're going to find the wood chips there, and we're going to turn that one on. Again, that's going to start doing the cellulose acetate, excuse me. I think I said glucose before, or I don't know what I said. Cellulose acetate is what it's going to start. So we're going to kick that over. We're going to have everything running except the polyethylene, which is going to take sugar to do, so we'll have to maybe look into that. Then obviously we'll have more canola next year, but at this point we're almost running the bioplastics at full tilt. So that's a winner. Let's see, can we just pull this straight out of here? We certainly can. Alright, so I think we'll get this back to the farm. That takes care of all of the new animals, the cotton, the new industries, new equipment, and all that leaves is grass and monthly deliveries. So I think for the most part, we're definitely going to call it a win. We're going to say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.